In the summer of 2020, I traveled to Vienna, in Austria, shortly after the city had reopened most of its attractions. In this video, I want to show you what traveling in Austria is like now and share my top 20 things to do in Vienna. Welcome to Vienna. So here we are, and luckily we are already in the center, so we can just walk over to the main site. The Stephansdom from 1359 with its iconic tiled roof is Austria's most important church and the symbol of Vienna. Two highlights on its inside are the magnificent Gothic stone pulpit from 1515 and the Baroque high altar showing the stoning of Saint Stephen, the first Christian martyr. After visiting the inside of the cathedral, I ascended its northern tower, which offers beautiful views of the city of Vienna and is home to the huge Pommerin bell, which traditionally rings in the new year in Austria. I descended from the church tower and decided to take a break at one of Vienna's most famous coffee houses. So, we are in our first coffee house, or Café house as we say in German, on this trip, and it's so cool. This is the Café Central, one of the most legendary coffee houses in Vienna. I ordered several of the best cakes of the coffee house, including the Café Central cake, a Beethoven pastry, and a special summer cake. And since we're in a coffee house, let's of course try the coffee. This is the Melange, a classic drink from Vienna. Yeah, really good. This coffee is amazing. So it's half milk, half coffee, and frothy milk on top, similar to cappuccino. But wow, the flavor is amazing here. I took an e-scooter to get to the Griechenbeisl, one of Vienna's main foodie attractions. So here I am now in the most traditional restaurant of Vienna. It's from 1447, incredible. And of course it has delicious beer from Austria. So and this, of course, is the main reason I came here. This is the Wiener Schnitzel. It's so delicious and it's huge. I mean, check it out. It's bigger than my head. It's incredible. So good. Can't wait to try this. So, as you can see, I just boarded a tram, and that's because I'm doing a tour of the city center of Vienna today on the tram. It's kind of like a DIY tour of the Ringstraße. The Ringstraße is the big central street around the center of Vienna, and there's lots of beautiful buildings on this street. To create your own tram tour, all you need to do is take tram line 1 from Schwedenplatz, platform B, and you will see several of Vienna's most important architectural sites, including the Votivkirche, the City Hall, the Austrian Parliament, the Maria-Theresienplatz, and the State Opera. So this little tram tour is really a fun way to see a lot of sides of Vienna in a short time. It's kind of a bit like a safari, just instead of looking for animals, you're looking for buildings. And this is the Hofburg. It's the castle of the Habsburg monarchy. It was the official castle of the Habsburg family from 1279 until the collapse of their monarchy in 1918. The imperial Habsburg family was one of the dominant European dynasties for several centuries. During the 1800s, the multinational Austro-Hungarian Empire occupied large parts of Central Europe and included the major cities of Prague, Vienna, and Budapest. It was home to almost 53 million people and the second largest European country after Russia.
And now we will visit the most popular part of this castle, the so-called Kaiser apartments, where Sissi used to live. Sissi is the most popular empress of Austria. She was a wife of Franz Ferdinand I, and very well known for her beauty and elaborate dresses. Emperor Franz Joseph I and Empress Elisabeth or Sissi ruled Austria-Hungary for most of the 19th century. The Kaiser apartments were their official living quarters, and the museum's exhibition reveals a lot about Franz Josef's extreme work schedule and Sissi's elaborate beauty and fitness regimen. Sissi is still extremely popular in German-speaking countries today because of 3 movies with Romy Schneider from the 1950s. Other highlights of the Hofburg include the Imperial Treasury, which displays the Habsburgs' precious collection of crown jewels, the Spanish Riding School, and the tropical butterfly house. And here we are at one of the most famous tourist attractions of Vienna. This is the Café Sacher inside the Hotel Sacher, and it's most famous for its Sacher Torte, which is a very rich chocolate cake and super delicious. Sacher Torte, as you can see, original since 1832. Quite a tradition, almost 200 years now. So let's try it. Wow. It's super sweet with the chocolate on top, and then chocolate notes on the inside, and a little apricot and the cream. Delicious. With the Sacher cake, I ordered a so-called Einspänner, which is coffee with whipped cream on top and has a special traditional glass, as you can see here. I took a taxi to get to my next destination. And this is a very popular site here in Vienna. It's the Hundertwasserhaus, built by the architect Hundertwasser, who was quite a character in that way that he didn't like straight lines. So you can see the house has lots of curvy lines, it has these mosaic details, and it is super fun to watch. Also the bright colors are one of the trademark signs of Friedensreich Hundertwasser, the architect who designed it. The Hundertwasser village next door features a cafe and several souvenir shops that are all designed in the artist's unique, colorful style. Right there behind me is the Staatsoper, the most important opera house in Austria. Inaugurated in 1869, the Staatsoper is one of the busiest opera houses in the world, staging 50 to 60 operas every year. Run by legendary conductors like Gustav Mahler and Herbert von Karajan, the Staatsoper has had a profound impact on how opera is performed today. During carnival season, it is also the location of the glamorous Vienna Opera Ball. After my visit to the Staatsoper, it was time for more delicious cake. And this time, we're going to Aida, which is famous for its pink 50s interior. Let's take a look. And then it was already time for dinner. So here we are now in a super traditional restaurant. This is the Zwölf Apostelkeller, and I think the setting is so cool because it's a vaulted underground cellar that's been built in the Middle Ages, and that's exactly what it looks like. Really nice. I'm looking forward to the food. I think it's gonna be traditional food from Austria. And also gonna drink this is like a good, a really sweet wine from Austria. So Prost. And now let's take a look at the food. This is Tafelspitz. It's a specialty from Vienna. Tafelspitz is a boiled beef dish that is usually served with roasted potatoes, a mix of minced apples and horseradish, and sour cream. The flavor is a bit unusual.
Good morning, and today we start our day off at the Mozarthaus. This was Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart's residence for 3 years between 1784 and 1787, and it's a beautiful museum now with like some of the original scores. It is here that Mozart wrote The Marriage of Figaro.
The Mozarthaus provides a great introduction to the life and times of the ingenious Austrian composer. Exhibits include copies of music scores and paintings, musical instruments, and period furniture. I particularly enjoyed the slightly surreal holographic performance of scenes from Mozart's opera The Magic Flute on the middle floor.
So as you might have noticed by now, Austria is really famous for its sweets, and this is another good example. The Manna wafers are absolutely delicious. It's a famous brand from Austria. They have wafers in all kinds of styles and variations, and they have a shop here right on the Stephansplatz on the central square of Vienna. And of course, we're gonna go inside the shop and get some delicious wafers.
Apart from the classic rectangular hazelnut wafers, the quirky Manna flagship store also offers more chocolate-heavy sweets and lots of merchandise in the company's trademarked shade of pink.
You open it like this, and then you break it, and then you get the delicious wafers. And now let's move on to the most important art museum of Vienna. And here we are. This is the Kunsthistorisches Museum, which means it's the most important art museum of Vienna. It contains the art collection that was amassed by the Habsburgs over time, and it's huge. It contains art from Roman antiquity all the way up to 18th century art.
The Kunsthistorisches Museum is a definite must-see for any art lover and boasts an interior that is just as sumptuous as the art it contains. Some of the most prominent works of the museum's collection include Pieter Bruegel the Elder's Tower of Babel, Giuseppe Arcimboldo's Summer, Jan Vermeer's The Art of Painting, and Albrecht Dürer's Portrait of Emperor Maximilian I.
I just took the metro from the city center a little bit further outside to get to the Prater. The Prater is a really cool place here in Vienna. It's a giant park that also has an amusement park inside it. So we're gonna go to the amusement park now, and I love amusement parks. I'm really looking forward to this.
So I'll start off the visit to this amusement park with a classic bumper car ride. Oh, and by the way, entry is free. You just pay per ride. You don't have to pay an entrance fee for this park, which is really cool. So next up I decided to go on this Ferris wheel, and it's really fun because you can rotate this thing. I've never seen a rotating Ferris wheel before. This is really cool. Woohoo!
Next, I tried my luck at one of the many game booths.
All right, after a few more attempts, it worked, and I won this panda. Yay!
It was a pretty bad deal though, 20 euros, but it's a very cute panda. So I decided to get food now here at this local place at the fair, and of course we got beer first. Prost! And I can already smell it. It smells delicious. This is a traditional dish from Austria. It's beef goulash. Goulash is a dish that's all over Central Europe, and this is the Austrian variety. I'm really excited to try it. So it's time for dessert, and I ordered the most iconic dessert from Austria, and that is the Apfelstrudel. It is a dish that's made with fresh apples. It's warm, and yeah, take a look yourself. Austrian sweets and desserts are just the best ever. So nice. Good morning! So today we're doing something really special. We're going to the most famous and most beautiful, by many accounts, castle in Vienna, and that is Schloss Schönbrunn. So I'm really looking forward to this one. And here we are in front of Schloss Schönbrunn. This was a summer residence of the Habsburgs. It's a magnificent castle with lots of beautifully furnished rooms in the Rococo style mostly. Let's go into the palace. The beautifully preserved Rococo style rooms of Schönbrunn Palace are the ideal place to get an impression of the pomp and rich legacy of Austria's former monarchs. The 40 rooms that are open to the public include the Great Gallery, the Marie Antoinette dining room, and Sissi and Franz Josef's Blue Bedroom. The marvelous palace gardens are perfect for a stroll in summer. This palace is amazing, one of the nicest ones I've ever seen. So if you're in Vienna, make sure to see this palace. In my opinion, it's the #1 site in the city. So, and after visiting the palace, we're now here at another true architectural highlight of Vienna. This is the Karlskirche. It was built between 1716 and 1739 as thanks for the deliverance from the 1713 plague. Two of the Karlskirche's most distinctive architectural features are its massive 72-meter-high copper dome and two spiraling pillars, which are modeled after the Trajan's column in Rome. A beautiful highlight of the Baroque interior of the church are the vividly colored frescoes by Johann Michael Rottmeier in the cupola. And now here we are at Austria's biggest and best food and street market. This is the Naschmarkt. So I walked past this olive stand on my way through the market, and the guy offered me some free samples. And then in the end he managed to sell me this massive box of olives because they're just so delicious. Another nice thing is there's lots of restaurants around here, which is of course great, especially if you're into Turkish food or other Middle Eastern food. There's lots of options here. I decided to go for a drink here at the Naschmarkt. Daily, it's a beautiful open-air restaurant outside here. So I got a Middle Eastern starter plate with different specialties. It looks super tasty. I'm gonna try it now. And to celebrate my last night here in Vienna, I went to a really nice traditional restaurant called Silberwirt, and I got an Austrian dessert called Palatschinken. In this case, it's a chocolate Palatschinken, so a chocolate pancake with ice cream and has a marzipan filling.
So those are my recommendations for Vienna. What are yours? If you're from there or if you've been there before, please make sure to leave your tips and advice in the comment box below this video. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to Max Nomad for new travel videos published every week. I'm Max Nomad, and I will talk to you again soon.